Welcome into Harvest Ballpark. Sean Mernon along with you here, back at home, and an early one to boot. Northwest Arkansas ready to take on the Wichita wind surge for the first time this season. And, well, this is going to be a fun matchup this week. You've got the Naturals, who are a game up, or I should say a game ahead in first place of the North Division at 16-11. Wichita's 15-12. They're a game back along with the Arkansas Travelers, and so Ethan Bosacker and company are just about ready to get things rolling in a 6-game series that'll certainly help us figure out what's going on here in the North Division. So far, the Naturals have seen Springfield, and they've seen Tulsa twice. Other than that, though, really haven't seen much. So we'll get started here in just a moment as Bosacker takes the hill at 2-2, a 5.19 earned run average. He's going up against Tanner Schobel, Ricardo Olivar, and then Kalai Rosario to kick things off on a busy day here. It's an education day at Harvest Ballpark, so going to have a pretty nice crowd on hand. The buses have been passing through the parking lot. Bosacker's ready. Here comes his first pitch of the day. And it misses high and tight for ball one. It's at 11:05 a.m. out here at Harvest Ballpark. I've got us at 68 degrees currently, and it's certainly overcast. Here's the 1-0. Hot shot foul on the left side, makes it a 1-1 count. First pitch time and temperature brought to you by Straits Lawn and Garden, with the right outdoor furnishings and the Big Green Egg Grill to make those summertime cookouts and outdoor times enjoyable. See Straits in Springdale. So Schobel steps back in, 274 average here to start the year. He's already got 29 hits, 4 of which are home runs. Right-hander into the windup, the 1-1. Big breaking ball, cuts across the zone but doesn't hit. Turns it into a 2-ball, 1-strike count. That was a slider that time. Just missed off the plate to the right-hander. Bosacker, the 2-1. Grounded to third. That hits off Pineda's glove, and he can't recover in time. Schobel ends up at first, and it's an E5 to put him there. It brings up Ricardo Olivar, and as he steps up to the plate, let's take a look at the defense for Northwest Arkansas. Wearing their home whites with the yellow hats. Of course, that signature N with the blue bill. A lot of guys wearing some dark blue long sleeve undershirts on a chilly day here at Harvest Ballpark. So you've got Carter Jensen behind the plate. He'll be doing the catching for Bosacker here. Jac Caglianone's at first. Javier Vaz is at second. Bosacker's set. First pitch to Olivar. Popped him up. That's over our heads. Just waiting to see if it made a sound landing on top of the canopy. It did not. But it's strike one. On the left side of the infield, it's Jack Pineda, as we mentioned, at third base. He's guarding the line right now with the right-hander up. And then Dustin Dickerson's in at short. He joined us on the road when we were in Springfield. Played 11 games with AAA Omaha. Bosacker's 0-1. Misses high and tight with the fastball, four-seam above the zone. Spencer Nivens is in left. Brett Squires on the other corner and right. Gavin Cross splits the difference in center. Rosario in the on-deck circle. The 1-1. Olivar grounds it left side again. Dickerson coming up. Pineda cuts it off. Quickly gets it to first. That's in time. Schobel makes it to second, but there's one away. That's a 5-3 put out, and it brings up the aforementioned Kalai Rosario.
That's the kind of play you're used to seeing the shortstop make, but I like that from Pineda. Got himself right back into the game after the early E5. He cuts off Dickerson, makes the wise play himself to go across the diamond for out one.
Well, and don't forget here, too, Pineda also a shortstop. So you have the advantage of having a couple of guys on the left side of the infield that really know how to get the ball across the diamond. Well, we were ready for the first pitch to Kalai Rosario, but then everybody resets. Might have been Bosacker there. Right-hander set. Here comes his first pitch to the three-hitter, Rosario. That's in for a strike. Slider to the outside corner. Rosario so far off to a bit of a sluggish start, 188. It's his second year with Wichita. He was with this team last year. Right-handed hitter waits patiently. Bosacker's 0-1. Rosario swings and misses over top of a slider again. This time he goes low and away. Can't connect with it, though, so it's an 0-2 count. Rosario, 3 home runs. He's also stolen 3 bases. It's a good mix of power and speed so far, but he struggled against righties, same-sided pitchers, 179 so far. 2 of his homers have come against. 0-2. Rosario stares at strike 3. Window shopping strikeout for out number 2 in the first inning. It brings up the lone lefty in this lineup, and Rubel Cespedes.
How about it? 3 straight sliders from Ethan Bosacker. Went right back to the well, and this time got it on backwards K Accord. Just completely fooled him on 3 straight pitches that were all sliders.
It is slider heavy. Obviously, they had a plan and they executed it. The pitch. And Cespedes takes a changeup low and in for ball 1. You've got Bosacker out there on the mound, and so far this season, they're pretty even. Righties have 15 hits, lefties have 10. Here's the 1-0. Shot to left field, fairly deep. Niven's going back. It's over his head and off the wall. Schobel comes around from second base and scores with 2 outs. Cespedes ends up driving in what's an unearned run with that line drive to left. It's a 2-bagger and a 1-0 game. Wichita out front.
That's really good situational hitting, right? Taking a fastball at the hands. Maybe not an ideal pitch, but still knowing the runner's on with 2 outs. Good to get that quick lead, as Northwest Arkansas is 12-6 this season when scoring the first run.
They have gotten better at coming from behind in games. At the beginning of the season, it was a struggle. If the other team scored first, it was almost chalk that they were going to win it. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Ross out in front of it. But now, when you take a look at how this team has fared with their opponents scoring first, it's 4-5. So you're a game below 500 in that situation. It's a lot better than how they were, at least to start the year. And obviously, things are going to work themselves out as time goes on. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Some of it depends on the offense. Some of it depends on, in some of those games, yeah, they're on the board first, but they may be on the board heavily first. And so it's going to put you down quite a bit. Now you're depending on your offense to make up a decent margin. So those records, important to keep, important to know. The problem is they change so much. You can go to one series and end up with a winning record, especially when you're a game under 500 in that scenario. Top of the first inning, 1-0 with 2 outs. Here's the 0-2 to Ben Ross. Takes it high. 90-mile-per-hour fastball that time. Just kind of sailed on him. Ross 183 so far this season. He's hitting in the 5-hole. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a slider out of the zone that time. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Ethan Bosacker, but 1 unearned run comes home to score on a hit with an error, and 1 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Naturals head to the plate with Vaz, Jensen, and Caglianone. Left-handed hitter Javi Vaz strolls to the plate in a 1-0 game. Northwest Arkansas trailing as we go to the bottom half of the first. Darren Bowen, the right-hander's on the hill to get things kicked off for Wichita. Their baseman Rubel Cespedes creeps in. The first pitch to Javi misses inside for ball number 1. Vaz hitting .205 now on the year. Here's the pitch. That's sent up and out of play over on the left-hand side. Javi, 8 hits on the year so far. He's stolen 3 bases as well. When he starts to get rolling at the top of that order, that's going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams. The 1-1. Flied up and out of play on the left again. Vaz back in. Right-hander kicks and fires. 1-2 pitch, bounced right back over the mound. Schobel in short cuts it off, throws to first, and that's in time on a 4-3 putout for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up the 2-hitter in Carter Jensen. Let's take a look at the defense for Wichita. Ricardo Olivar's doing the catching behind home plate tonight, or this morning. It's still morning. Aaron Sabato's at first base with Jake Rucker at second. So right side of the infield, very familiar. Tanner Schobel's at short with Rubel Cespedes at third. Bowen kicks and fires. Jensen, first pitch, fouls it away. Straight back behind home plate. It's an 0-1 count to the Naturals' left-handed hitting catcher, who's got a .232 average with 3 homers. In the outfield, Kalai Rosario's in left. Kyler Fedko's in right. Ben Ross in center field. 0-1. Jensen skies it up left side, but that drifts foul and gets out of play. All the way up onto the concourse near Little Arvis Ballpark and left. Jensen set up from the left-hand side. Bowen deals. Misses high. Well, Carter in that last game of the series, 0 for 4 at the plate. Here's the 1-2. Misses outside. Over his last 5 games, though, 6 for 22 with a home run. A couple of ribbies. Struck out 3 times, but overall not a bad road trip for him. Bowen nods yes. Here's the 2-2. Soft flare into center field. Ross moving up, and he makes the catch hip high for the second out. F8 brings up Jac Caglianone, who, well, he made a lot of waves. He's hitting .314 now on the season. He was 2 for 4 with a homer on Sunday. He's gone deep in back-to-back games. Kind of really bashed the training facility in right field up in Springfield. Hit one on the roof, smacked one off the side at 115 miles per hour. First pitch to Jack, misses too tall for ball number 1. He's got a lot that's happened so far this season on his list of credentials, one of which, of course, that ground ball he hit, the 1-0. Yeah, that slips in for a strike. That time a slider middle away. It was a 121-mile-per-hour ground ball against Frisco back on April the 11th. That one blew up on social media. There were a lot of questions as to if it happened. The 1-1 jammed him, popped up and out of play with a fastball, but I can assure you that was those were the numbers that we were getting from kind of the StatCast system in the ballpark. So sometimes the ground balls come out a little bit firm, but that ball got onto the shortstop in a hurry. The 1-2. Jack lines it down the right field side, but that's a foul ball into the seats over there. That was 113. So you can tell he's swinging it pretty hard, and we've seen it. He's got 6 home runs now on the year, 27 RBIs. He's been crushing righties at .333, lefties .289, so he's good against both so far. 1-2. Misses low. But maybe the more impressive thing is that against righties, he's got 4 of his homers. He's still hit 2 against left-handed pitching this year. He's got 4 total extra base hits against left-handers. Bowen nods no. Now he's got his sign. Here's the 2-2. Misses inside. Caglianone just scoots out of the way. That was a cutter that missed badly in, and it's a 3-2 count. But first AA homer was in Tulsa. That was a mammoth one too, 464. Here's the payoff. Caglianone swings and misses to end the inning. That's strike 3 swinging. Ethan Bosacker back on top of the hill. We go top of the second inning. Right-hander fans his glove out, goes into the line. Here's the pitch. And that gets in for a called strike. Starts things off in an 0-1 count. Bosacker give up a run in that first inning after an error and a double. The 0-1. This is outside, gets under Jensen's glove and back behind home plate. But Sean Mernon alongside A.J. Switek back here at home for a week. And we're back on the road. It's kind of how it is in this part of the season. A week home and a week away, and it kind of goes that way, well, up until July, I guess. That's where you kind of get some of the weird stuff, like the split series with Springfield going into the 4th of July, and then you've got a back-to-back in late July, and then a back-to-back homestand in late August. Bosacker set. The 1-1. Tyler Fedko having a great start to the season, takes a breaking ball, but it misses high. 5 home runs so far, .292 average this season. Played out of his mind. Bosacker's 2-1. Misses up.
Wind blowing harshly now to left field. Plays in favor of this right-handed bat.
I thought you were just going to stop at wind, and I was like, are you choking?
Wind surge.
That was a dramatic pause. Here's the 3-1, popped him up, but that's back behind home plate and over our heads. 3-ball, 2-strike count here to Fedko.
But it makes sense. It would be a windy day when you're playing the Wichita wind surge.
Oh, that's bad. That's a bad joke.
Wasn't a joke. You got wind in the name. But you mentioned Bosacker gave up that run in the first. Worth noting, of course, it wasn't earned, as it was the E5 that plated it.
Bo Sacker's 3-2. Misses low. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. And that's why I mentioned the error, obviously, to start things off. That's a walk, by the way, to Fedko, so he'll head up to first base. First one of the day for Bo Sacker and company. Brings up Noah Cardenas, DH, but unfortunately for Bo Sacker, that inning ran one hitter too long. And so he ended up giving up the damage to Cardenas. Or sorry, Cespedes. Now he's got Cardenas at the plate. Right-handed hitter, 216 average so far this year. Here's the pitch. Yeah, drops in for a strike, a sinker to the outside corner.
That base on balls issued to Kyler Fedko now means that in each of his first 6 starts, Bo Sacker has walked at least 1. In 5, he's walked 2 or more.
Never more than 3, though. Here comes the 0-1. That one just missed. Looked like it had the outside corner, but the fastball misses wide. Last time out for Bo Sacker was in Springfield. Picked up his second win of the season after he went 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits. Didn't strike anybody out, walked 2, but still managed to get through those 83 pitches in 5 innings. 1-1. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss. Cardenas way out in front of a slider. That one came in middle, but it started right around his cheek.
That slider's been his best pitch today. It's where he's found his swing and miss, and he's also got guys looking at it. It just has so much late lateral movement that it's really deceiving from the plate.
It's got quite a bit of depth, too. It starts to dip on you. When it's running away and going down, it's a lot harder for your brain to track. Bo Sacker's 1-2. Fouled away. He went right back to that slider up, and Cardenas got a piece of it.
I don't know if that was intentional, but regardless, definitely took a good margin off of that slider. Clocked under 70 miles an hour, and you could tell Cardenas was way out in front of it.
Slurvy slider right there. Fedko leads off first. Cardenas waits. Righty on righty. Here's the 1-2. And Cardenas took a swing and fouled it off. Fedko had taken off for a second, but he'll reset. Trying to protect the runner there.
As the season's gone on, Carter Jensen has slowly caught more and more runners going. And now that he's keyed into it, I'd be surprised to see Fedko go again.
Well, we'll see. Nobody out. 1-2 count. Fedko's got a pretty good lead over there, held on by Caglianone. The 1-2. Check swing on a slider to third base. Pineda goes to second for one, over to first, and they roll it a 5-4-3 double play on a ball that was not hit hard enough to be able to turn something like that.
You described it perfectly. That was a check swing that wound up in fair territory, just nubbed it to the left side, and how about it? Jack Pineda, after the early error, has now made a couple of nice plays, and a lot of credit also due to the middle infield there. Javi Vaz, right place, right time, and then just whipped it to Cags to get all runners off the bases and 2 gone.
Javi is an awfully good swingman. First pitch to Aaron Sabato misses low and away. And he's shown that over the last couple of years here. If you can get him on the bag at second base, whether it's a tag or trying to turn 2, he will get rid of that ball in a hurry, and he did it there. 1-0. Sabato hits it in the air to right field. Squire's measuring it. He makes the catch shoulder high for the final out here in the top half of the second. No runs, hits, or errors after the double play. Nobody left. Bottom of the second we go. 1-0. Wind Surge still out in front. Jordan Grosjean steps in at the plate. We go to the bottom half of the second. Northwest Arkansas trailing 1-0. Bowen kicks and fires, and the first pitch to Grosjean misses just a touch high. Starts him off in a 1-0 count. Glad to have you with us out here at Arvest Ballpark on an education day. It's also, oh, here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. It also opens up the first game in the season series, not just this home series against Wichita, but it's also the MILB TV free game of the day. So welcome in. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you got a nice day off today and you're tuned in. We appreciate it. Here's the 1-1. And tried to get inside with that pitch. A curveball down and in, but Grosjean spits on it. Turns it into a 2-1 count. Bowen, the 2-1. This is outside, so right now having trouble with the left to right of the zone. Gavin Cross looming in the on-deck circle. He's put together a nice stretch of games here after he struggled for about a week there. Right-handers 3-1. Groshans takes it low and inside. That is one of the really nice things about having an experienced guy like Groshans that's even seen a little bit of big league time. He is more than happy taking the walk and going down to first base. He does not need to leave the zone and try and swing at pitches that he knows aren't going to be solid contact. And so he takes the walk, goes up to first base, and where Groshans was hitting .329 coming into this game, and that'll stay at that at least for now. Gavin Cross, like I mentioned, got off to a really hot start, 4 hits on opening day in Tulsa. And now the Royals' number 6 prospect is hitting .185 so far this year. He's got a home run. We saw the power last year with his 15 blasts. But again, some guys get a little bit slow out of the gate. They may, whatever the case may be from spring training. Cross, though, proved he can hang in this league last year, and he started to do so here recently. Pitch. He goes after it and hammers it to deep right field into the wind. Fedko's at the wall. He makes the catch just in front of the padding out there. And that's the first out of the inning. It sends Groshans back to first base. Cross, yeah, he got into that one, but too high and too much wind.
I'll be honest, off the bat, I thought that thing was long gone, and it looked like the body language of Fedko felt the same way, but really good to stick with the play by the right fielder, gave it a chance, and caught it with his back to the wall to get rid of out one on a really hard hit ball.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure watching Fedko out there. Here's the pitch. Nivens takes that outside for a ball. Because he was standing there, but normally those guys either turn and watch or they stand with their back straight against the wall. He had about a foot between him and the wall there. Here's the 1-0. Nivens fouls it straight back. And so I was like, I think he has a shot at this one because it wasn't like he was measuring the leap, right? So that's why I tried not to go too far with that because I did think it was hit especially hard. Here's the 1-1 to Spencer Nivens. He hits it into the alley in right center field. Ross and Fedko after it. Ross comes in from center and makes the catch. There's 2 away for Brett Squires. And I was just about to say, that series that we just had up in Springfield was a big series for Nivens. Not just because he played pretty well, but also because he went to Missouri State, who plays at Hammons Field. But we can get into that a little bit later because Brett Squires is coming up to the plate. Right fielder for Northwest Arkansas hit his second home run of the season while we were on the road. 1-0 game win surge lead. Bowen deals. And Squires takes that pitch low and inside for a ball. When you look at the 6'4", 210-pound Squires on the road, those last 5 games, he was 5 for 14. Drove in 4 runs. He walked twice. He's hitting 253. He's been very consistent right there in the mid-250s to start the year. Here's the 1-0. That misses high. It's an organizational all-star for the Kansas City Royals. Not too bad, all in all, for a guy that was signed as an undrafted free agent. Here's the 2-0. And that hits the outside corner for a called strike. That was back in 2022, and Squires has climbed through the ranks. It's no small task to get to Double-A in any system. 2-1. This is outside. Squires lays off a heater. Now it's a 3-1 count.
He's really carved out a role for himself on this team on his own accord. He plays a really solid corner outfield. He's in right today, and then brings some sneaky power to the plate too.
Also likes to play first base when Jac Caglianone goes into right. Here's the 3-1. Swing and foul ball. Boy, that's squared up Olivar behind home plate. He's got that big hockey-style mask on, which I've heard is supposed to absorb the contact like that a lot better than the standard catcher's mask. So Olivar looks to be just fine. Got to his feet, walked out in front of home plate. Got a runner on first with 2 outs here. Jordan Groshans working a walk to lead off the inning. Since then, Gavin Cross and Spencer Nivens have both hit a couple balls hard, but the wind blowing in from right field today has made it a little bit tricky to pump it out, especially to right field. Looks like Bowen's ready. Groshans, good lead at first. He goes. Here's the pitch. Missed on a backdoor breaking ball. That works another walk. This time it's Squires that takes it. He moves up to first. Groshans over to second. And now Dustin Dickerson steps up to the plate.
It's a big spot for Dickerson to try to take advantage of a couple well-worked walks. Jordan Groshans led off the inning with such. Now Brett Squires pushes him to scoring position with a walk of his own. Dickerson hitting .206. This would be a good time to come alive.
He's got 2 home runs, hit one of them on the road. That was on Sunday. Here's the pitch. Dickerson takes a slider just off the plate. Tried to go away from him that time. Right-handed hitter. Yeah, we talked about the one left-handed hitter at Wichita's lineup. There's only 2 righties in this lineup for Brooks Conrad and the Naturals. Here's the 1-0. Popped foul on the right side. It goes into the Naturals dugout. But Dickerson joining us on the road in Springfield after he had 12 hits in 11 games for AAA Omaha. Hit .316 while he was there. Here's the 1-1. And handcuffed as that cutter came right out over the middle of the plate, worked away from him. It's a 1-2 count with 2 outs. 8-hole hitter wags the bat through the zone. Groshans a lead at second, Squires at first. The pitch misses high. So it evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Got a bunch of fans running around on the berm in right field. Bowen kicks and fires. 2-2, misses high and outside. Now we've got a full count. The advantage goes to the runners. Groshans and Squires can take off when Bowen makes his move toward home plate. He's got a 1.37 earned run average, so it's not exactly an easy thing to bring runs home against the right-hander.
Also a perfect 2-0 record to boot.
Here's the 3-2. Swings and fouls it up and out of play. It's on the first base side of the ballpark. So Bowen in a 3-2 count. And yeah, I mean, obviously the wins certainly helped the case there, right? But last time out was against Springfield at home. So didn't even get to pitch in that last series. Here's the 3-2. Runners go, the pitch misses low. 3 walks have loaded the bases, 2 of which have come with 2 outs. And now Jack Pineda's on his way up to the plate. Pineda, if you know it or not, no stranger to hitting grand slams for the Naturals.
No surprise here. After issuing 3 walks, there's going to be a mound meeting trying to settle down the arm more than likely, as everyone's aware of the prowess Bowen brings to the bump. And I think he is as well. This is now a season high on base on balls. It ties what he did once earlier in the season. He'll obviously stay out there, but with the bases loaded, you mentioned Pineda's already found success in this situation.
Yeah, last year he hit his 2nd career grand slam on July 24th against the Travelers. He's 3 for 5 that night with a couple runs scored and 4 ribbies. Real quick, join Arvest Bank to fight hunger during the 15th annual Million Meals campaign. Just $1 can provide up to 5 meals for someone in need. Or now you can help at arvest.com/millionmeals. Or if you're an Arvest customer, donate directly through the Arvest Go mobile app. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisors. We've got the bases loaded with Jack Pineda stepping in against Bowen, who, well, he hasn't given up a hit yet. Here's the first pitch to Jack, and that cruises in there for a called strike. So the mound visit there by pitching coach Ryan Ricci seemed to have done the trick, at least for that first pitch. Big spot here. Naturals trail 1-0. Pineda waits. Bowen, the 0-1. That gets away from Olivar. Here comes Groshans from third. We're all tied up on a wild pitch. Everybody moves up too. Squires to third, Dickerson to second. Now you have the go-ahead run standing at third base with Pineda up at the plate.
Well, that's the danger when you issue those walks, right? All of a sudden your back's to the wall because you can't afford a miss like that. It was wild, low of the zone on a cutter, evens the count for Pineda and ties up the game.
Pineda, the lefty, waits. 227 average on the year. Here's the 1-1. Takes just outside. That fastball, I mean, he could not have missed any less on that outside edge. Bowen, jersey flapping in the breeze, deals. 2-1, shot foul on the left side. That's strike 2. And out in the left field bullpen for the wind surge, they are getting a right-hander up in a hurry out there. Yeah, Let's take a look-see here. Michael Martinez, a right-hander, is thrown.
Bowen,
2 outs, though. It's a 2-2 count, and Bowen watches as Pineda pinwheels the bat. Right-hander into the wind, 2-2. Skips in the dirt, a nice block by Olivar that time.
yeah, as I was going to say, that's Bowen's 43rd pitch. Still here in the second inning. He'll look to find some efficiency to try to lengthen this outing, but yeah, it is an arm already throwing off the mound out there in left, which typically is an indication you'll go to the bullpen sooner than not.
Well, and the tricky thing, too, is he's only his high this year is 78 pitches. So right now, here's the 3-2. Swing and a foul tip. Olivar can't hang on. Everybody resets. But what I was going to say is he's already over halfway, there to that 78 number. Last time out, he only threw 55 pitches. So you have to wonder if that's also part of the plan, is that he may be on a lower pitch count this time out. Bowen set. Here comes. Pineda lays off. The pitch misses high. That's the 3rd straight walk for Bowen, the 4th of the inning. And let's see if they decide to make a move here. Javi Vaz on his way up to the plate. That was pitch 45. Looks like they are going to let him face Vaz.
This turns into a really high leverage look, right? Bases loaded, Javi Vaz looking for his first home run of the year. Couldn't pick a better time to find it.
Well, as a left-hander, maybe not. The pitch lined high in the air to center field. Ross has got a beat on it going back towards left center, and he makes the catch in front of the warning track for the final out of the inning. So Javi puts a charge into one, goes to the right side of the ballpark, gets nothing though. Naturals, though, do tie the game. Don't make the box store mistake and buy a mower from somewhere that has no service, no repair shop, and no parts department. Visit Straits Lawn and Garden today and see the largest selection of Gravely mowers. First pitch of the inning to Jake Rucker, misses outside for ball 1. That's Straits Lawn and Garden in Springdale. Got a 1-1 ball game after the Naturals worked a bunch of walks, but a wild pitch scored their first run. They still haven't gotten a hit so far. Bosackers 1-0. Fouled up and out of play on the right side by Jake Rucker. First time up to the plate for him out of the 9-hole. It's at 238 so far this season. This Wichita Wind Surge offense has been one of the better clubs in the league. 1-1. Breaking ball. Missed low that time. You've got Amarillo leading the league in average at 260, then the Naturals at 255. Briscoe's hitting 253. Wichita 246 so far this year. Here's the pitch. And that gets in for a called strike. But the Wind Surge second in the league in homers with 28. They are certainly clubbing the ball. Naturals with 24 as a group so far this year. But again, they've scored 150 runs. That's the second highest total in the Texas League. Here's the 2-2. Misses high and tight. Now it's a 3-2 count. You've got Corpus Christi holding up the bottom there. They're the only team that hasn't gotten to 100 runs yet. They're at 75. But they have won a few games here recently. Here's the 3-2. Line to third, over Pineda, down the left field line, a fair ball. Rucker headed to second, Nivens into the corner. He digs it out and gets it back into Dustin Dickerson. But Rucker has the second hit of the day for the Wind Surge. It's another double, and it puts a runner in scoring position to start off this third inning.
A couple of extra base knocks driven to left field. This one really never stood a chance for a play. It rattled around out there. For a second, I thought Rucker may make the turn for third, but wisely in a tie game, he holds in scoring position, still nobody away. Well aware that his feet represent the go-ahead run with a lethal part of the order now due up.
Tanner Schobel back to the top of the order, as AJ just mentioned. The pitch, breaking ball front, Dorton on the inside corner with a slider for strike 1. You've got Schobel, who reached on an E5 as the first hitter in this one. Came around to score later when Rubel Cespedes doubled to left like we were just talking about. The 0-1. Skied up and out of play on the right side. That was a fastball outside corner to the right-hander, so it's an 0-2 count.
There's been plenty of questions as to how this Wichita offense would look without the Twins' #1 prospect, Walker Jenkins, who just hit the IL.
The 0-2. Slammed to third, a fair ball just past Pineda, diving toward the line. Rutgers around third, headed for home. Schobel cruises into second with the third double of the day for the Wind Surge. They have been peppering the left side so far, and that one scores a run to make it 2-1 Wichita.
Well, just as I was saying, even without a player with that kind of promise at the plate, this is a group that really top to bottom can beat you up if you leave anything over the zone. And that's a great example because that's not an easy pitch to get to. That slider was by no means over the middle of the zone, but he pulled it down the line just beyond the diving Pineda. And you mentioned it, 3 hits, 3 doubles. I think many teams would sign up for that kind of start at the plate.
That's a really tough pitch to hit there, that slider, and it was on the outside corner. Bosacker deals. Olivar grounds it foul on the left side, and so for him to be out in front of that pitch enough and be able to get his body out there and get the barrel out that way to hit it hard and pull it, again, pulling a pitch that's on the outside corner, if not just off it, is a tricky thing to do, but he did it with authority past Pineda to bring home that run. 0-1. Olivar skies it high in the air to left field. Nivens tracking it toward the line, over near the wall, and that comes down just out of his reach. So it's a strike. It turns it 0-2, but Olivar is going to get it a second chance here at the plate.
Ricardo's 0 for 1 on the day after grounding out to Pineda over at third base in the first inning, but he's hitting a staggering .330 this season with 12 runs batted in. His next hit will be his 30th.
Well, Bosacker hoping that doesn't go to his line. He's given up 3 hits so far, all doubles. Time called. This time it's Olivar that asks for it as he steps out. You've got Kalai Rosario in the on-deck circle for the Wind Surge in this 2-1 game, looking to pile up some runs here in the third inning against the Naturals and Ethan Bosacker. Righty's 0-2. Hard hit ball left side. Diving stop by Pineda to his feet. Throws to first in time. What a play. Jac Pineda hoses Olivar for the first out of the inning.
It's another well-struck ball on a tough pitch to get to. Wichita is not making it easy for Ethan Bosacker, but Pineda helps his arm out. Yes, Tanner Schobel moves to third with only 1 away, but the Naturals will take that trade of an out for an advancement any day of the week in this situation.
Oh, I'm sure they would prefer the runner to stay at second. I'm sure they would trade that for anything in the world, but Bosacker set with 1 out. Rosario with the infield in, checks the swing, but the slider's there for a called strike low in the zone. Rosario, so far 3 home runs, 10 RBI. Struck out looking back in the first inning. The 0-1. This is outside. Again, you've got everybody playing up right now, and you could even see Javi Vaz at second base while the ball's going back to Bosacker. He's filling in behind him just in case that ball gets through him somewhere. You've got the right side with the righty playing up just against the edge of the grass. The left side playing back just a step. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Tried to go down and chase another slider. Makes it a 1-2 count. Bosacker paws away at the mound with his feet. Standing on the first base side. Waits for Rosario to get back in. On plate umpire Chad Patterson, the crew chief, gives the action sign. Here's the 1-2. Rosario fouls it away. It was a slider at the top of the zone that time. He went up and just got under it.
It's Bosacker's marquee pitch, right? If it's not broken, don't fix it. It's where he's found his outs today.
He's certainly done it quite a bit. The Rosario strikeout was on 3 sliders. Here's the 1-2. That time he misses high. Sinker. And that one sailed quite a bit. Right up near the bill of the helmet. Brim of the helmet, I guess.
After a high miss like that, you get the eyes high. Don't be surprised if he goes to a low breaking pitch.
Here's the 2-2. Fastball lined into center field. That's down for a base hit, and it scores Schobel. Now a 3-1 ball game as Rosario breaks through with his first knock of the day. Well, got that sinker just below the belt over the middle of the plate. Drove it right back where it came from.
With the way Jensen was set up beyond the plate, obviously you never know exactly what the call is from up here, but it looked like Bosacker missed his spot a little high there. Jensen's glove was set up below the zone, left it a bit up, and that's how Rosario is able to get a piece and extend the Wichita lead, now a 2-run frame.
Well, and it's always tricky trying to read that stuff because sometimes you put that glove low so that you work up in the zone. So now with pitch framing and things like that, guys are setting up in certain spaces so that they can pull that ball up if it needs pulling up. So a lot of guys you'll notice a lot of guys are going to start with the glove low, at least at this level as they work through that stuff. So tough to tell. Bosacker set. Here's the pitch. Cespedes cranks it into center field. Cross going back, he gets turned around, now goes to his right, makes the catch, and that's the second out of the inning. It sends Rosario back to first, and with 2 outs, Ben Ross heads up to the plate.
Ross 0 for 1 today. He's one of 2 victims with a strikeout against Ethan Bosacker, but he'll look to tap into the success Kalai Rosario just found, as after striking out in the first, he hit that RBI single here a couple of batters ago.
He's hitting 181 so far on the season. Ross struck out in the first inning. Now there's been 3 hits in this inning like you were just talking about, AJ. We'll see if Bosacker can recoup. Still 2-run game. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball outside corner for a called strike. And I'll be honest, I haven't had my eyes fixed on it, but we did see earlier that there was somebody warming for Wichita in the bullpen. They're not warming anymore. I believe that was Michael Martinez that was out there. So we may get to see Bowen again. Runner takes off. Here's a ball whipped to left field. That's down for a base hit. Rosario's around second, headed for third. Dinkelman gives him the stop sign there. It's another double. This time Ben Ross cracks that one. A line drive on a slider away to left, and Wichita is absolutely smoking the ball here early in this game.
It's a plate party and everyone's invited, right? 4th double, 5th hit of the game for the Wind Surge, who only have 3 runs to show for it. So if Bosacker can mitigate the damage here, all in all, that would be a good job working out of a jam, but Wichita has seen him very well today.
Kyler Fedko worked a walk. That's the only one on the line so far for Bosacker. Naturals still without a hit. Now 5 for Wichita. Top of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. Fedko goes after it, hits it in the air to right field. Squires stalking it to his left. He makes the catch, and that ends the inning. It's a point well founded by AJ. It's 2 runs on 4 hits in this half inning. Probably could have come away with more, but instead Bosacker and company limit the damage. We'll take it to the bottom half of the 3rd inning out here at our best ballpark. Carter Jensen, Jac Caglianone, Jordan Groshans all due up for Northwest Arkansas as we get into this bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's a 3-1 game. Naturals have been held hitless so far. Wichita has knocked down 3 runs on 5 hits, 4 of which have gone for extra bases. So Carter Jensen digs in. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a fly ball to center field. Bowen kicks and fires. Pitch 47 of the day for him. Misses outside for ball 1. So 46 pitches through the first 2 innings. He issued 4 walks during that second. Naturals couldn't make him pay and only got a run for it. Jensen takes that one low and inside. You've got lefty, lefty, righty due up this half inning against the right-hander Bowen. 1 strikeout to his credit so far. That was Caglianone back in the first. Righty's 2-0. Hot shot foul on the right side, just in front of the Naturals dugout. Oh, Naturals lost on Sunday due to a 7th inning 2-run homer from Nathan Church, who also had the walk-off hit back on Thursday. So he really did some damage. Naturals just as easily could have come out of there 5-1 or 6-0 had it not been for Church. The 2-1. Jensen takes a strike that time. Elbow high fastball cutter on the outside edge. Makes it 2-2. But, I mean, 4-2 to go on the road and do that to another team, that's pretty good. The 2-2 floated down the left field line, but it's a foul ball. Drifts out toward the kid zone and onto the concourse. Keeps it at 2-2. But when we returned home from the Springfield series that the Naturals obviously did very well for themselves in, got a new guy. Rudy Martin has joined the team. Here's the 2-2. On the ground to second. Rucker up with it. A double pat of the mitt and a throw to first, and Sabato gloves it for the first out of the inning, 4-3. It brings up Jac Caglianone, but yeah, just overall a good series there. And then adding Martin, who was a guy in this system initially. He was signed to a free agent deal here recently, activated just before today's game. Here's the pitch. Caglianone takes that high and tight. He's a guy who was on the 2021, they call it the Double-A Central Championship. Still rolled into the Texas League history book. Right-hander, deep breath with one out. Here's the 1-0. Caglianone shoots it to left field. Rosario chasing it. He looks up, and that carries into the bullpen. Jac Caglianone hits his 7th home run of the season. A line drive to left off of a sinker off the plate. 364 into the bullpen, and it's a one-run game again.
My goodness, Jac Caglianone makes it look so effortless. He swings the bat so hard, but it doesn't look like it's even that much. He just whipped that ball to left on a line, and when you have those kind of muscles, sometimes the ball finds a way to carry over the wall. That is a big home run.
That looked like a floating line drive that just never came down and hit till it hit off the back wall out there. And you can see a lot of smiles down in the Naturals dugout. Caglianone's power coming on. That's the 3rd straight game with a home run for Cags. That ball's fouled up and out of play. You got Jordan Groshans at the plate. He's hit 3 home runs this season. And he steps in, having walked earlier today and scored the first run for Northwest Arkansas. Bowen set at the letters. Goes into the windup. Here's the 0-1. Groshans takes off the plate. So the first hit of the day for the Naturals comes via the long ball. And, well, look out into that bullpen. It looks like Martinez is warming up again. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, popped up, and that reaches the seats as well. Wind blowing out to left. It's a good day for Groshans if he can try and pull one here. One-two. Hit in the air to center field. Ross moving under it. Reaches up, makes the one-handed grab, and there's 2 away.
I'm still not over that opposite field home run from Jac Caglianone. Really just couldn't come in a bigger spot early in the game. When your team's hitless, 1 gone, looking to get something going, you mentioned it, it just looked to be a line drive, but he just brings that effortless power that put it into the bullpen.
Yeah, he's been known to take a good swing or two so far in Double-A. Here's the pitch to Cross. He takes that pitch low and away. Cross flied out to right field his first time up. It looked like that was going to be the first homer of the game, the first hit of the game for the Naturals. Here's the 1-0. He slices this foul down the left field side, ticketed for the seats, and it reaches them.
What I was getting to on the Caglianone home run is he's done a really nice job as this season's gone by working himself into those advantageous counts. He was ahead, saw a pitch he wanted, and even though it wasn't the perfect offering, he's always a threat to go yard.
Here's the 1-1. On the ground to second again. Rucker scoops it up and sidearms it to first. They're out of the inning. 4-3 on the putout, but the Naturals get a run back thanks to Jac Caglianone's 7th home run of the season. He's hit 1 in 3 straight games. We'll take a break and come back. AJ Switek will pick you up for the 4th inning right here on the Naturals Baseball Network.
Ethan Bosacker comes out for a 4th inning of work. His first pitch to Noah Cardenas misses high. Bosacker to this point has allowed 3 runs to come in and score, but only 2 of which are earned. Wichita's got a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 4th with a 1-0 pitch is skied in the shallow center field. Cross comes in on it and is able to grab it just above the bill of his hat for out number 1. Wichita continues to put the ball in play. They haven't struck out since back in the 1st inning, but there's the contact that Bosacker was looking to induce as there's quickly 1 down with nobody on in the visiting half of the 4th inning. And Aaron Sabato comes to the plate amidst an 0-for-1 game. The right-on-right matchup. Bosacker from his windup. Swung on over to the left side. It gets beyond Dickerson on the ground. And Aaron Sabato takes the first pitch to him to the left side of the infield. Found green grass for a single.
Got a 4-seam fastball down in the zone and just stayed down on it. Did a nice job to punch that ball through.
Brings up Jake Rucker, who's already found success against Bosacker today. Still no arms warming in that Naturals bullpen. As with 1 away and a runner on first, Rucker, who's 1 for 1 with the double, takes the first pitch to him just inside. It's a 1-0 count. Both sides reset. It's the top of the order, ready to get turned for on deck and in the hole. First, the 1-0. Finds the plate for a signaled strike. Back-to-back takes have matchsticks on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. With Wichita leading by 1. Tanner Schobel on deck. Ricardo Olivar in the hole. The pitch to Jake Rucker. Tipped backwards and foul into the backstop. No more strikes to give for the .250 batting second baseman. Rucker steps back into that right-handed batter's box. Bosacker's kick from the stretch is ripped into center field. Cross takes a few steps back. He's underneath it, and his glove has now forced 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. The third catch for Cross in this game. He's able to retire his second out as the Naturals look to leave this frame scoreless defensively. They got a run back in the bottom of the 3rd with a Jac Caglianone solo home run, their first hit and lone hit of the day. After Javier Vaz scored on a wild pitch in the 2nd, it leaves the score 3-2 in favor of Wichita. With 2 gone and Sabato over at first. The inaugural pitch to Schobel misses inside at the hands. There's a 4-seam fastball clocked at 88 miles an hour. Has the leadoff bat in the order, 4th of the inning ahead. And he nubs one to the right side. Caglianone charges it, flips back to Bosacker. It's a 3-1 put away of Tanner Schobel. Good effort from Jac Caglianone. Flipped his hips in time to get the out, and the Wind Surge are held scoreless in the top of the 4th. Wichita makes a call to the bullpen as Pearson Ole is into the game in relief of Darren Bowen. And his first pitch is a called strike on a fastball in the inner quadrant of the zone to Spencer Nivens. Ole, a right-handed pitcher, works from a very quick windup. The prompt pitch is low. The righty stands at 6'1". Spent last season with Wichita as well. Now here in a 1-1 look, his pitch is lifted into left center field. Continuing to go there in time to make the catch. Rosario cuts it off. That's now 3 or 4 times in the first half of this contest that Northwest Arkansas has made some good contact to the outfield, but that Wichita defense is fast.
Yeah, they'll certainly close on it, and this wind is going to hold the ball up in a lot of places, especially when you go to left field.
Calls to the bullpen are always brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, keeping your family connected with no contract unlimited data, talk, and text plans. Find us at your nearest Walmart. Ole, the first relief arm used, already has 1 out, and now he's ahead of Brett Squires with a called strike on a changeup in the upper part of the strike zone. The 0-1. Swung at and missed by Squires. He's down 0-2 with 1 away and the base is empty. In the bottom of a 4th inning from Arvest in the first game of this 6-game stint between the 2 teams. Northwest Arkansas is trailing at 3-2, being out hit 6-1. The 0-2, Squires puts it on a line to right, and it's down in front of Fedco. Second hit of the game for the Naturals comes off the bat of Brett Squires, who now quietly has reached in each of his plate appearances today.
Yeah, did a nice job. We're seeing a lot of guys pull balls that are away from their body, and that one's sinker middle away. 92 just did a nice job to get the barrel out there and pull that into right field, get his first hit of the day, and put the Naturals in business with 1 out.
So here's Dustin Dickerson. The right-handed bat takes the first pitch to him in the dirt outside. A slider that never quite stood a chance of finding him. The tying run at first, the go-ahead at the plate. Dickerson in a 1-0 look. Waves his bat, now locks and loads as the pitch from the stretch. is on the ground to the left side, bouncing into the glove of Cespedes. He goes across the infield. A lunging Sabato gets a glove to it. It advances Squires to second, but the 5-3 put-away of Dickerson marks the second out of the inning.
Was a little bit surprised right there because it looked like Cespedes wanted to go to second base, and his body kind of started in that direction, and then he turned to first and fired a dart over there to get Dickerson. And, well, if he would have held on to that ball for an extra second, he didn't have any more time to get it over there to first.
Well, when it's all said and done, he did still get the out. The fielder's choice brings up Jac Pineda, who walked in his lone plate appearance to this point. The 9-hole bat. Half swings at the first one to him. It's a called strike regardless. Now 2 gone with the tying run in scoring position. Javi Vaz on deck. It's the 0-1 to Jac Pineda. Misses away with a changeup. Pineda hitting .227 this season. Stolen a couple of bases. He's another guy. You can't hold on to the ball too long. He always hustles his way down the line to first anytime it's a ball in play. It's the 1-1. We'll have to wait. Pearson Ole steps off the bump, takes a quick glance at Brett Squires before all sides regather themselves. It's the first disengagement of the plate appearance. As here is the 1-1 pitch from the stretch. Again, outside to the left-handed bat, Jac Pineda. Went right back to the changeup and couldn't force a whack. Pineda has 2 home runs this season. One here would give the Naturals their first lead of the day. Instead, it's nicked backwards off of the hand of Olivar behind the plate, and he'll take a moment. Good feeling because that was that bare throwing hand. Chase Thompson, the athletic trainer for the Wind Surge, comes out to check on the catcher. So it elongates this look between Pineda and Ole.
Not only that, but Olivar's taken a couple whacks back there already. If you remember, a couple foul. There was at least one foul ball that smoked him in the face mask, but he was fine after it. So, I mean, that is one of the most demanding positions in all of sports. And these guys that squat down behind the plate, they're about as tough as you can be. And you can see there, Olivar's going to. I mean, he's staying in the game. It doesn't matter what happens to these guys. They want to catch.
That they do. Training staff back to the dugout. As it's a deuce's wild look with a runner on second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone to Jac Pineda. The game his team trails 3-2 the pitch. This is low and in. Good take from Jack. Fills things up and we'll need a payoff. But first, Sean, you should check out Unified Financial Credit Union. They have free checking and you can earn a bonus when you join. They also won Best Credit Union in NWA and have convenient branch locations in Northwest Arkansas. Promotion is subject to change. Bonus requirements must be met within 60 days of account opening. Here's the payoff from Pearson Ole to Jac Pineda. Skied foul and out of play down the left-hand side over the awning, protecting the grandstand. So we'll try the 3-2 again. Mirrors the score of the game. Wichita has yet to trail in this one after their 1-run first inning and 2-run third. Pearson Ole steps off the slab and again ensures that Brett Squires is holding at second base with a 3-2 count and 2 gone. He'll be on the move here right when this thing's delivered. Of course, if it's put in play. The kick is put in play into left field on a line, and Johnny on the spot. Rosario is able to reel it in for out number 3. It was a well-struck ball by Jac Pineda, just couldn't find the ground. It's a scoreless 4th inning for both sides that has Wichita up 3-2 as we head to the top of the 5th, with the voice of the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, Sean Murnan, will welcome you back on the other side of the break.
Ricardo Olivar up to the plate. Start the fifth inning with the first pitch fastball that misses high and tight. Starts him off in a 1-0 count. It's a 3-2 game. Naturals have 2 hits. Bosacker into the windup, the 1-0. Line to left field. That's in for a base hit. Nivens walks over and cuts it off. Fires it back in, so it holds Olivar to a single. But another hard hit ball to left. They have not let up on that grass out there in left field.
Well, Northwest Arkansas also still hasn't elected to get an arm warm out there in that home right field bullpen. They're letting Bosacker extend this outing. He's been efficient. That was only his 63rd pitch, but 7th hit of the day for the Wind Surge. They've been seeing him very well.
Bosacker set at the letters. The pitch. Tried the outside corner, but it missed to Rosario. Four-seam fastball just cut right across the plate. 64 pitches in for Bosacker. He's ready. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses low. It's kind of a big deal that Bosacker keep this game as is, because you can't keep chasing your tail. You can't keep scoring the runs and playing from behind and things like that. At some point, you gotta be able to just kind of keep it as is and give the offense a chance to kind of dial it up there. Here's the 2-0. Check the swing, but that's in anyway on Rosario for a strike. A changeup low and in. We haven't seen a lot of the changeup yet today from Bosacker. Throws a four-seam, a two-seam, a cutter sweeper, change curve. Seen a lot of the slider. This ball popped into center field, cross measuring it into the alley in right center, and he makes the catch. That sends Olivar back to first base. Brings up Rubel Cespedes. On with the early start today, you'd think to yourself, oh, probably won't really get a scoreboard, but I would beg to differ, because there is one other active game in the Texas League here today. Cespedes digs in, lefty against the righty. Bosacker deals, misses outside, went right back to that changeup. Well, let's see here. Well, there was supposed to be one other game today. The Drillers were in Amarillo to take on the Sod Poodles. That game has been postponed due to rain. Bosacker's 1-0. Cespedes swings and misses over at the top of another changeup. And it's a 1-ball-1-strike count. So let's take a look at the rest of the schedule and this out-of-town scoreboard presented by Walmart. Save money, live better. You've got Midland at Corpus Christi. That's a 6:05 Central Time first pitch. 1-1. Pop down the left field line into foul ground. Pineda chasing after it, but it falls into the seats. Makes it a 1-2 count. 6:05 down in San Antonio. They're hosting the Frisco Rough Riders, who are in first place in the South Division. Springfield at Arkansas. That's a big series to keep your eye on. We'll see Arkansas not even next week, in a couple weeks, right here at Arvest Ballpark. Bosacker's 1-2. Runner goes from first. There's a swing and a foul ball. Cespedes just got a piece of it as Olivar took off. Keeps it at 1-2. But that Springfield, Arkansas series is going to be huge for the Naturals and for the Wind Surge, for that matter, regardless of which fan base you're a part of, because the Naturals are in first place in the division. Wichita is a game back. So are the Travs. Here's the 1-2. Cespedes jam. He pops it foul into the seats again. Stays 1-2. And, with all of that going on, Springfield at 12-15, I feel like they're going to be good against certain teams. They're going to match up well against certain teams in the league, at least to start this season, until some of their bats come around and that bullpen gets shored up a bit. Got some really good arms in it. Here's the 1-2. Runner goes again. This ball fouled back again. Cespedes has fouled off a handful of pitches here, and that's driven Bosacker's pitch count up to 73.
Olivar's now made a couple of jumps over at first. He's yet to attempt to steal a base this season. Both have come with swings. You wonder if the hit and run is being called in store here, because it's been an aggressive secondary hop each time.
A miss zone, and they get Cespedes for the second out of the inning. That's the third strike for Bosacker. The other two came in the first inning, and it was against Rosario and Ben Ross who comes up to the plate.
Revisiting that out-of-town scoreboard, this series is equally as important to Arkansas and Springfield. You know, there's a couple really big series for either side that they'll be keeping an eye on.
First pitch on the way. There's a swing and may have gotten a piece there. Fouls it off. It's an 0-1 count. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that goes both ways, but knowing that I'm mostly speaking to Naturals and Wind Surge fan, I would assume that, you know, there's been some really good seasons and good series and postseason matchups between all these teams. So I know that they're concerned more with that side of it. 0-1, fastball misses inside. I mean, nobody really, how can I put this? Outside of Travelers fans, I don't know if anybody really cares about the Travelers' position or disposition at this point in the season yet. The Wind Surge have come out of the gates firing on all cylinders. Up 3-2, here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Ross cut through a fastball up and in. And of course, then we could say the exact opposite when the Travelers are in town. Travelers fans probably aren't worried about the plight of the Wind Surge fan.
Other than the standings, no.
Spin and a throw over to first. That's not in time. And it's not like there's a ton of games separating everyone either. Obviously, you've got the one game between the Naturals and then the Wind Surge and Travs tied up in that second spot. But, you know, Springfield's still 12-15. Here comes the 1-2. That misses high. And then you've got Tulsa also 12-15. So, you know, there's not the disparity in the North as there is necessarily when you take a look at the South Division where, you know, there's 8 games separating the first place and last place teams out there. It's 4 games here in the North. The 2-2 popped up and out of play on the right side. So those are all things to keep in mind. Naturals, by the way, are the hottest team in the league at 7-3 in their last 10. Everybody else is 4-6, 5-5. There's a 6-4 team in Tulsa. And then you have Arkansas, who's actually been reeling here a bit. They're 2-8 in their last 10. Shows you how good of a start they got off to.
There's been a lot of roster moves in that organization as well.
Here's the 2-2. Runner goes again. There's a swing and a foul ball up and out of play. So Olivar kind of got the knock on his hand during the bottom half of the fourth. And now they are just running him over there at first base. He's taken off about 5 times, maybe a half dozen. And he's been stuck at first base the whole time.
To reiterate, he hasn't had an attempted stolen base this season, so definitely interesting.
Everything has been on swings. Here's the 2-2. This is low and away. Runner takes off. The throw down to second's on the money. That's a great throw by Carter Jensen to get Olivar taken off and going to second base, and a very nice tag by Javi Vaz as well. Back at Arvest Ballpark, Pearson Ole throws the last of his warm-up pitches, and Javi Vaz ready to take to the plate in a 3-2 game. Naturals trailing by 1, and Ethan Bosacker's day may be had because out in right field, Christian Chamberlain is warming up potentially to enter his 3rd game of the season after coming back from over a year layoff from an injury. So we'll see if he gets in the top of the 6th. But for now, we'll stay at home in the bottom of the 5th. Be where your feet are. Naturals trailing by a run. And Javi Vaz ready to step in. 0 for 2 so far on the day. A fly ball to center field and a ground out to second base. Ole kicks and fires. First pitch to Javi. Misses inside for ball number 1. And, well, Pearson Ole, no stranger to Northwest Arkansas. He pitched against them in 3 games last season. He was 0-1. And the next pitch, that gets delivered for a strike. Fastball low and away from the left-hander, but in those 3 games, Ole, we mentioned 0-1, a 7.71 earned run average. Naturals hit .328 against them last year. 1-1. Poked left side, right to the third baseman. Cespedes throws it to first, and it's in time. A 5-3 on the putout. Gets this first out in the bottom half of the 5th inning. It brings up Carter Jensen, who's 0 for 2. Threw out the base runner to end the last inning, trying to go to second.
Good pre-pitch movement from Cespedes. Lined up in the right spot. That's half the battle. It was just hit to right where he was waiting in the middle of that left side of the infield.
Oh, and that's kind of the way the game is now. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball gets in for a called strike. And, you know, there's a lot of people that will watch a ball hit up the baseline or something like that when they've got a bit of a, you don't want to call it a shift because it's not a true shift. Here's the 0-1. This is low and away, but realignment of the defense maybe. And so, like, even with Jensen up right now, you've got Cespedes playing well off the line, but that's because they have metrics that say this is the right spots to play to get the most outs. 1-1. Jensen grounds it right side. The second baseman, Rucker, backhands it, throws to first, and they just get Jensen on a tough play at second. Rucker has been getting his work in over there with a handful of ground balls. That time he had a long way to run to get the out.
Exactly. See, that time he's not set up in the perfect spot, but is able to get to the ball in time and still deliver to Sabato for the 4-3 put away. And here's the guy who gave the Naturals their last run.
It's Jac Caglianone who homered to left. Put the the second run of the game up on the board. Now he pokes this through the left side. A ground ball for a base hit into left field. Didn't waste any time that time. Another fastball away from the plate. Used that 6'5" frame and the long arms and the big wingspan to reach out and just tap that right through the left.
That's where he's found a lot of his success, right? Everyone points to the home runs, but especially in that road series against Springfield, he had numerous where he was just able to find the gap on the left side. He's been hitting to the opposite field immensely well of late.
I would say most of those hits, especially early in the week, were kind of those balls that were poked through the left side. Here's the pitch. Groshans takes that outside. Obviously nothing wrong with that. It's not always going to be a ball that's hit with authority, but there's a lot of room on the left side when you're a left-handed hitter, especially one that's as powerful as Jac Caglianone. He gets his lead at first base, held down by Aaron Sabato. Here's the pitch. Groshans swings and misses. Bottom fell out of that one. A changeup makes it a 1-1 count. Still got the wind blowing out to left in this one-run game, 3-2. Wind surge got up early in the first inning. It's an error and a double that scored that run against Ethan Bosacker. They came back for more in the third. 4 hits, 3 doubles, and 2 more runs. 7 hits total on the day for Wichita. Here's the 1-1 to Groshans. Taken for a strike on the outside edge, 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Groshans average at 324 now after the 0-for-1 start to the day. Walked back in the second inning. First of 4 during that frame. Here's the 1-2. This is low and away. Groshans lays off. Slider into the left-hand hitter's box. Pushes it to 2-2. 2 outs in the inning. Olds 2-2. Just missed the outside corner. Olivar tried to swipe that glove right into the strike zone. Couldn't get the strike called though.
I love this education day. Maybe 1,000 kids here. It feels like it's 5 times as much. They have made a lot of noise, and it's fun.
I would imagine there's going to be more than 1,000 kids here looking around the ballpark. It's filled out pretty well, especially when you look out on the berms and the kid zone. 3-2. Shot up and out of play. I'd be interested to find out what the ratio of parent, guardian, adult to child is here today. We'll never get that number, but I would love to know. It's a lot of watching that needs to be done. All set. 2 outs. Caglianone goes. The 3-2. Jammed him. Popped up left side of the infield. Schobel moves up on it. Makes the catch on the fly. And that ends the inning. Pop out to the shortstop. Still a 1-run game. We'll take a break and come back. AJ will have the 6th and the 7th in a 3-2 game. Wind surge lead it.
It's a 3-2 Wichita Wind Surge lead over the Northwest Arkansas Naturals as the top of the 6th is ready to give way with Christian Chamberlain in, making his home debut this season and getting a called strike with his first pitch of the day against Ben Ross. Chamberlain replaces Ethan Bosacker, who went 5 innings where 3 runs scored, 2 of which were earned. He struck out 3 as Chamberlain's 0-1 is in there for a called strike to finish out the line. Bosacker did allow 7 hits, but mitigated the damage enough to keep this a 1-run game. Chamberlain's 0-2. Just misses high. Jensen did a good job to try to pull that one back over the plate and fool Chad Patterson. But the crew chief knew better, and it's now a 1-2 look. Kyler Feldko on deck, Noah Cardenas in the hole as this ball is striped into center, and Gavin Cross is there to make the catch. Cross has been a busy man in center field this afternoon. Since the third inning, that is his 5th catch in center field. Helped his arms immensely. This time it helps Chamberlain to his first out. The relief arm making his 3rd appearance. He's still yet to allow a run this season since rejoining the Naturals after that hiatus due to injury. As the 0-0 kick is called for a strike. Kyler Fedko at the plate. It's 0 for 1 today. Reached on a walk back in the 2nd and skied out to right field. Now here he's down 0-1 with 1 gone and the base is empty. The pitch. Waved at and missed in the dirt. That slider just bit below the zone all the way to 6 on the clock. It's now an 0-2 count with the Wind Surge looking to add to their 3-2 lead here in the road half of the 6th inning. Chamberlain steps off, readjusts his cap. Gives Fedko a chance to grip at that pine tar before regathering himself. He works all the way from the backside of that right-handed batter's box. His back foot is on the chalk as the 0-2. This is low and in. This time it didn't fool Fedko. His count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7 pitches into this one for Chamberlain out of the bullpen. Now both teams have used 2 arms in a game that's had good pace. Just over an hour and a half into it, the 1-2 pitch, a looping slider that didn't backdoor the zone as intended from Chamberlain. 5'10", left-handed relief arm is 25 years old. He was a 4th-round pick in the 2020 draft by the Royals, hailing from Colorado. His 2-2 from the stretch is lifted up and out of play, winds up over the awning and back out of the concourse level. Fedko enters this look hitting .288. He has 12 hits on the year with 12 RBI and 16 runs. His 2-2 is again sent into foul territory on the right-hand side, this time a bit softer as it stays in the seating bowl and functions as a souvenir for one of the rare non-kiddos in the park today on Education Day. This is one of 2 times this season Northwest Arkansas will open its gates prior to 11 a.m. as scheduled. One of the 2 early start games sees the hometown team trailing 3-2 as the 2-2 pitch is again spoiled foul into the seating bowl on the right side. It took a hop off of the Arvest Ballpark signage and was caught by a fan. It's now back-to-back nice plays over there from the right side. Nevertheless, the count is 2-2 as it really just functions as another fight-off from Kyler Fedko. Christian Chamberlain looks to get him here with 1 gone and nobody on his pitch. Isn't able to do such. Instead, it's rolling up the middle and into left center field. He makes the turn for second. The throw in is offline, and it's a hustle double for Kyler Fedko. Rolled it over, wasn't a hard hit ball according to the StatCast here in the ballpark. But he immediately made the turn for second, caught Spencer Nivens off guard. His throw took Javi Vaz off of the bag. And it's yet another double in this game for the Wichita Wind Surge. Their 5th double of the game, 8th hit. I'm no mathematician, but that's over half of the hits coming with extra bases, all of which doubles. That puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Noah Cardenas after a really good fight by Kyler Fedko. Chamberlain looks to resurface, and it's stabbed back into the lower half of Cardenas, functioning as a strike, and a fastball that was left middle. Jason Perez, the first base coach for the Wind Surge, signals into the right-handed bat. It's the 0-1 pitch. This is well up and away, went right back to the fastball. Chamberlain sports a sky blue mitt. Gets his signal from Carter Jensen. Likes it. Now he sets himself in a 1-1 spot with one on and one gone. The pitch. Whiffed. Great time to go to the curve after back-to-back fastballs. It left Cardenas well high of it, as well as out in front. Now Chamberlain's in another favorable two-strike count. He'll look for a better result than he found against Kyler Fedko. The wind ripping in from left center as the pitch is wild. It gets beyond Carter Jensen and moving over to third with ease. Kyler Fedko gets 90 free feet of work. As the 1-2 from Christian Chamberlain was wild. It's now a 2-2 count with extra damage standing on third. In a game Wichita already leads 3-2 and is yet to trail. Here in the top of the sixth inning with one out. Chamberlain's kick. Misses low with the curveball. Calculated miss, however. Likely was just looking to force the swing and miss, but it didn't fool Noah Cardenas. And we now need a payoff to the 205 batting DH. The pitch. Gets him to go. It's tipped backwards, but Jensen can't glove it. The count holds pat at full. With that foul away, it looks like Northwest Arkansas is going to start getting another arm warm. As that's Caden Monk out in right field, now throwing from the rubber. In the meantime, the payoff is fisted foul. Right into the dirt on the left-hand side. As Brian Dinkelman, the Wind Surge manager, gets a hand to it, flips it up to a lucky fan on the left side berm. We'll try the payoff again. It's Chamberlain's 20th offering from the bullpen in this inning. His delivery misses low. It's a very well fought base on balls from Noah Cardenas, who's on for the first time today. There's now runners on the corners with one out, with Aaron Sabato and a chance to do some damage. Larry Carter is coming to the mound. The Naturals pitching coach is going to talk it over with Christian Chamberlain, who found a quick out against his first batter faced Ben Ross, but since has allowed a double, thrown a wild pitch, and most recently issued a base on balls that have a conglomerate forming around the rubber. Thank you to Cards for sponsoring the Naturals radio booth. Cards offers residential, commercial, roll-off, and portable services for homes, businesses, and contractors alike. Cards prides itself on being a local company that takes care of its loyal customers. Of course, I'm AJ Switek with Sean Mernon here from that Cards radio booth. Sincerely thankful for that. As the mound meeting has come and gone. Chamberlain still out there. His 0-0 pitch is taken by Aaron Sabato off the plate for a called ball. It's a 1-0 count. The pitch again misses, this time inside as he went to the heater. Join Unify Financial Credit Union and earn a bonus. Promotion is subject to change. Bonus requirements must be met within 60 days of account opening, insured by NCUA. Here's the 2-0. Skips before the plate. Gets by Jensen. The runner moves to second, and it's another wild pitch from Christian Chamberlain. His second of the inning. Both have allowed runners to advance. There's now two in scoring position with Fedko on third and Cardenas freshly on second, with just the one out here in the top of the sixth, and a 3-0 count to Aaron Sabato. But Jake Rucker on deck, who's already doubled and scored in this one. Tough treading here for Chamberlain, who entered this game without allowing a run yet this season. He'll look to keep it that way, but has to work out of a jam as his 3-0 is muscled backwards into the protective netting. So Sabato did have the green light to swing in a 3-0 spot with 2 in scoring position. Fastball that got the plate, exactly what he was looking for, just couldn't barrel it up. It's now a 3-1 count with 1 out from Arvest Ballpark as the kick misses in and at the back foot of Aaron Sabato. Back-to-back base on balls issued by Christian Chamberlain that load up the bags as there's 3 ducks on the pond for Jake Rucker, who rubs the knob of his bat in the dirt, gets a little extra grip on it, and will be facing a new arm as Brooks Conrad has seen enough to pull the plug on Christian Chamberlain's day before this one potentially got out of hand. So Chamberlain got 1 out, but then allowed a double, a pair of base on balls, and threw a couple wild pitches that spells the end of his day. It's Caden Monk coming out of the bullpen for Northwest Arkansas. As always, this call to the bullpen was brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, keeping your family connected with no contract, unlimited data, talk, and text plans. Find us at your nearest Walmart. Monk, a 6'3 lefty from Mount Olive, Illinois, is 25 years old, was a 14th round pick by the Kansas City Royals back in the 2021 draft, and will look to keep the bases loaded behind him with 1 out against Jake Rucker here in the game. The Wind Surge lead the Naturals 3-2 in the top of the 6th. As Jake Rucker will look to give a ball some flight here with the bases loaded, and Caden Monk freshly onto the bump. The left-handed arm, first used today for the Naturals, allows a first pitch contact. It goes to Vaz, over to short, to first, not in time. Oh, what a hustle down the line by Jake Rucker to extend the inning. Aaron Sabato was caught on his way to second, but since Rucker was able to hustle it out, Kyler Fedko's run counts, and Noah Cardenas moves over to third. There's now 2 away as Monk quickly finds an out. It looked like Vaz and Dickerson had that 4-6-3 connection dialed up as per usual, but the throw just wasn't in time. That scores a run. Wichita leads it now 4-2 with the lineup turning over for Tanner Schobel. With 2 outs and runners on the corners, the pitch in there for a called strike. Just touched the outer third with a 96-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. Schobel has scored 2 of the Wichita runs today. Reached on an E5 to kick off the game in the first, doubled back in the third, and here he takes an 0-1 pitch at eye level as Monk went right back to the fastball, but this time missed. The 4-2 lead. Wichita has more damage on the bases as the 1-1 pitch to Tanner Schobel is cranked into right field, and banana peels its way into the seating bowl. That one was truly sliced. Monk now just a strike away from getting himself out of this jam he was asked to enter. See what he goes to here in a 1-2 spot against Schobel. The kick. Again, foul on the right-hand side. The right-handed bat is a little in front of a very fast four-seamer. Well, jammed him up a bit. It was up and in. Count holds at 1-2 strikes. Caglianone holds the runner at first in the form of Sabato. As the 1-2 sees the runner go for second. Jensen can't get to it as it skipped before him. And that's a stolen base. That has runners on second and third with 2 down. Deuces go wild. 2-2, 2 gone, 2 on. The pitch. Skied into left field, and again, it won't stay in the field of play. All the way onto the concrete concourse near the kid zone on Education Day. That's been a busy spot with the inflatables out there. After spoiling that slider, Schobel steps back in, his red batting gloves just off the knob. As Monk's delivery is swung at and missed. It's a strikeout in a big spot for Caden Monk, as one Wind Surge run does come in to score, but they strand two in scoring position. The Wind Surge lead the Naturals 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the sixth, where Cross, Nivens, and Squires are due up, looking to get the Naturals on top for the first time this afternoon.
Hey, Northwest Arkansas, it's Gavin Cross, outfielder for the Naturals. You're tuned in the home of Northwest Arkansas Naturals Baseball on the Naturals Baseball Network.
Would you look at that? Gavin Cross is leading off the bottom of the sixth for the Naturals. He just welcomed us back and looks to get a big knock here against Ole, whose first pitch of his, that's not Ole out there. It looks like he has been replaced. There wasn't an arm getting warm for Wichita, but they do bring Klein into this contest, who missed on his first pitch but forces a whiff on his second, so it's a 1-1 count to Gavin Cross. John Klein, a righty who stands at 6'5", 230, spent last season with Cedar Rapids. He delivers a 1-1 pitch that, again, Cross can't get a piece of with a whiff. It's the third arm used today for Wichita. Both teams have used as many. As Klein's 1-2 is swung at and missed. Three straight whiffs from Gavin Cross. That time it was a changeup low that fooled the Naturals center fielder. A great offering has Wichita's first strikeout since back in the first inning against Jac Caglianone. John Klein found his first out quickly. Now his first pitch to Spencer Nivens is called for a strike. The 0-1 with one away and nobody on. Another called strike. Klein is filling up the zone. This time a sinker in the upper quadrant. Moves it to an 0-2 count with Wichita on top 4-2. Out hitting the Naturals 8-3. The Wind Surge have also played perfect defense compared to NWA's one error. The 0-2 pitch is sent right back up the middle. On the ground, it dribbles its way to Schobel, who delivers to Sabato for a 6-3 put away. So quickly, two outs for John Klein, who has a fresh battery mate out there as well, in Andrew Cosetti, as Oliver's day is done after he was hit by that pitch in the hand earlier and was caught stealing. He hasn't re-entered. The 0-0 pitch to Brett Squires is one he can't catch up to, and it's an 0-1 count. Klein has come in and worked quickly, looking very good. This only his ninth pitch with two away and nobody on. That is on a line into right center field. It's continuing to go at the track and gets down between Ross and Fedko. It's a stand-up double for Brett Squires. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. With two outs, Squires is now halfway to this cycle. He's reached in three different ways in this game. A walk back in the second inning where he was stranded on third. He was then stranded on second a couple of innings ago after a base knock. Now he's got a double. That brings up Dustin Dickerson, who looks to extend the frame. Wind Surge leading at 4-2. Dickerson has 2 home runs this season. One here would tie it. The pitch. That one he likes. Good call as it missed the zone with the sinker low and in. The 200 hitting shortstop settles himself back in with a wide open stance. The 1-0 kick. Misses well away. Cassetti did a good job to keep it in front of him. Freshly in the game behind the plate. It's a 2-0 count to Dustin Dickerson. John Klein looks back at the runner. Now he fires. Dickerson puts it right on the ground to his native position of short. Schobel to Sabato. It's another 6-3 put away. And this time puts away the frame. We head to the top of the seventh where Wichita is leading Northwest Arkansas 4-2. It'll be Andrew Cosetti up for his first look at the plate of the day to lead things off. He'll be followed up by Kalai Rosario and Rubel Cespedes for the Wind Surge when we're back. Time for the top of the 7th inning here from Arvest Ballpark. With the Wind Surge on top 4-2, it's Andrew Cassetti looking to add to it with his first plate appearance of the game. Monk's first pitch to him is hammered foul down the third base side and off the protective netting. Pineda eventually gets a glove to it, and play can now resume. And a 0-1 count that gets the 7th inning underway. Wichita scored one tally in the top of the 6th that moved their lead to 2, where it currently sits. As Caden Monk's 10th pitch of the day is high of the zone with the fastball. Kalai Rosario is on deck. Rubel Cespedes in the hole. Cespedes, the lone left-handed bat in this Wind Surge lineup. First, the 1-1 to Cassetti. Misses again, this time outside with a slider. Didn't get number 31 to go fishing for it. The 2-ball, 1-strike kick. In there for a called strike. Right back to the fastball. He's been peppering those fastball slider combos since coming out of the bullpen back and forth. See what he wants to go to here in the 2-2 spot against the 167 hitting catcher Andrew Cassetti. The pitch. Misses high. It was another fastball. Now it's a full count to kick off the 7th. Defense remains the same for Northwest Arkansas. Standard alignment here. The 3-2. In there for a called strike. Cassetti had flicked the bat backwards and was ready to trot down the line instead. The home plate judge, Chad Patterson, saw enough of that baseball covering his strike zone to ring him up. 4th strikeout for the Naturals pitching staff today. 2nd in looking fashion. Brings up Kalai Rosario, who struck out looking back in the 1st. Monk's first pitch to him. Breaking ball that misses inside. The 1-0. Identical miss with the slider in at the hands. Now a 2-ball, no-strike count with 1 out. The lefty Monk from the stretch. Fills up the zone. Fastball called for a strike. Nobody on with 1 away. Wichita leading it in game 1 on the road as the 2-1 misses just barely with the fastball. Looked like that one may have gotten the lower part of the zone. But it's a very near miss that puts Rosario in a hitter-friendly 3-1 count. Monk looks to work around it. His delivery misses high. It's a 5-pitch walk of Kalai Rosario. So we've seen our fair share of base-on balls in this one. No different there. Left fielder's on for a 2nd time today. He singled back in the 3rd. That was his first walk of the game. And with just under 5,000 in attendance, 4,994 to be exact, on Education Day, Rubel Cespedes steps in and has to hop out of the way of the first pitch to him. It was inside at the knees. Cespedes hitting .270 this year. Looks to get the wheels of Rosario moving from over at first. The lefty takes a long look at him. Now kicks. And gets the called strike. The fastball, upper middle. Matchsticks on the board. 1-1 count. 1 out, 1 on. Wind Surge lead at 4-2 as the pitch misses in with the slider. It's really been exclusively fastball slider for Caden Monk here out of the bullpen, who's now gone 1 complete inning of work without allowing any of his own earned runs. has the ERA at 8.59 as the runner goes for second, but the hit and run will have to wait. Scorching contact is foul. That long strike moves the count 2-2. As Monk fired a fastball in that upper left-hand corner of the zone against the lone left-handed bat in this lineup. Here's the 2-ball, 2-strike delivery. Again, forces Cespedes to run out of the way of it. So it was a slider that was meant to go across his body and front door the zone. Instead, it didn't have the movement. Now fills up the count. The runner on first and one away. Caden Monk's payoff pitch. In there for called strike 3. His second backwards K of the inning. Now has 2 gone as Cespedes has gone down on strikes in back-to-back at-bats. It's the 6th of the day for Northwest Arkansas. 3 have come via the backwards K. And it brings up Ben Ross, who has struck out today once himself. Does have a double, however. He's 1 for 3, hitting 188 on the year. Ross will have to wait to see his first pitch as Monk try to pick off to no avail of Rosario. More so just playing catch with Jac Caglianone over there. Caglianone still holds the runner over at first. The 0-0 kick. It is shot into center field directly to where Gavin Cross was waiting for it. And that is out number 3. Gavin Cross has now been involved in 7 flyouts in center field. And we head to the home half of the 7th inning. Northwest Arkansas trailing at 4-2. Hope the limbs are stretched because the 7th inning stretch is presented by Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Trusted for more than 75 years, Arkansas Blue Cross provides affordable health, dental, and vision insurance for Arkansans. First pitch of the home half of the 7th to Pineda. Misses away from John Klein. Just a reminder to schedule an appointment with one of our friendly health insurance experts from our Arkansas Blue Welcome Centers. They're located in Fayetteville and Rogers. You can go to either today and take good care. The 1-0 pitch is swung at and missed by Pineda. It's now a 1-1 count in a game Wichita leads 4-2, and their defense and staff intends to keep it that way. No arms getting warm. They'll leave it to John Klein here. On the other side, Northwest Arkansas has a couple guys up and throwing. The 1-1 is axed up into right center field. Fedko in on it. He's called off by Ross, and the center fielder is in and charging. Corralled for out number 1. The wind has played a factor on a few in this game. I think that one would have hung up too long regardless, but certainly with the wind bringing things in, you've really got to run into one to spray a gap. Lineup turns over for Javier Vaz. Amidst an 0-for-3 game, John Klein's pitch to him is outside in spite of Cassetti's best efforts to pull it back over the plate. The sinker missed well away. It's now a 1-0 count with 1 down and nobody on. From the windup, Klein's 1-0. Vaz bunts it left side. He's going to hustle it out. Infield single on a bunt for Javi Vaz. Very few things in baseball get me more excited than that, and it gets an ovation from his dugout. Just a beautifully placed bunt. There was never a chance for a play over at first when you can fly like Vaz does. The single brings up Carter Jensen. The tying run has 3 home runs already this season. First pitch to him. Misses low. This is the part of the order that's so deadly as leads can evaporate with the Mash Bros right here in Jensen and Caglianone. The two have combined for double-digit home runs, both top 10 prospects in the Royal system, top 5 for that matter. There's the 1-0. Again, misses, and Klein is intent with pitching around Jensen early. Carter is 0 for 3 in this one. Has a 2-0 count with 1 away. And Javi Vaz over at first. The pitch. Check swing, did not go, and Jensen's now ahead 3-0. Caglianone on deck, already has a single and home run today. The 3-0 to Carter Jensen in the meantime is fouled away. It's a couple times in this game now from both teams where the green light's been given in a 3-0 count. Both times the ball's been sent backwards and fouled. That was a sinker low that Jensen couldn't get a hold of. Now he's in a 3-1 count with the speedy Javier Vaz at first. Pick try of Vaz, not in time. John Klein gets the laces on leather back. He's eyeing down Cassetti. The 3-1 inbound. The pitch. Misses high. It's a 5-pitch walk to Carter Jensen, and just like that, the tying run's aboard. Javier Vaz to scoring position. Carter Jensen with the base on balls walks over to first. And who else would you rather have up with a chance to take your first lead than Jac Caglianone? With 7 home runs on the season, the Royals' #1 prospect is batting .324, has 28 RBI, 35 hits, and a big chance to rewrite the script of this contest. See how aggressive John Klein wants to go at it. Right on left matchup, the pitch. This is well high to Jac Caglianone with the sinker. He didn't have to think much about that one. Still one away here. 2 on, Naturals trailing 4-2. The pitch to Caglianone. It's belted to the left side, but continues to draw and fade its way into foul territory. Caglianone already took one out to that part of the yard earlier today. Now will look to straighten the swing in a 1-1 spot with one away. Klein's kick is sent to left field again, looping towards the wall on the warning track. It's gone. Jac Caglianone, 2-home run game, and the Naturals have their first lead of the night.
That's the first multi-home run game in Caglianone's career, and it comes in a huge spot. Talk about the clutch gene. 2 opposite field home runs in one day, and he takes the lead.
Jac Caglianone, homers in each of his last 3 games. Now he's got 4 in his last 3. Just muscled it out to left. It's his second Oppo Taco of the afternoon, and the Nats lead at 5-4. Two home run day for the kid brings up Jordan Groshans. Naturals freshly on top 5-4, and Groshans takes high of the zone. It's a 1-0 count. My goodness, he's muscled out 2 of those things now. The 1-0 is ripped right back up the middle and laced down in center field. It rolls its way into the glove of Ross. That's a single for Groshans, his first hit of the day. Good way to follow up the big fly of Caglianone.
Yeah, Caglianone's home run was, well, both of them. Opposite field, get the wind behind you, and it just gets up and carries out. And so far, he's been the difference maker in this game, despite the Naturals being out hit.
He got back to the dugout, and Javier Vaz gave him a massive hug after that. Helped the Naturals to their first lead of the day, as there's a mound meeting now. After 4 straight have reached here in the home half of the 7th. Join Arvest Bank to fight hunger during the 15th annual Million Meals campaign. Just $1 can provide up to 5 meals for someone in need. Well, now you can help at arvest.com/millionmeals. Or, if you're an Arvest customer, donate directly through the Arvest Go mobile app. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor. And Sean, you know who the unsung hero is there? How about getting it started with the Javi Vaz bunt single?
I knew you were going to say that because I know you're a big bunt guy, but I'll tell you what, your voice was a lot louder for the home run than it was the bunt.
I think rightfully so, but still, that's huge. I mean, that's a go-ahead run right there. As with one away and a 0-0 count, Gavin Cross takes in at his shins. and it's a 1-0 count. Cross 0 for 3 today. Himself and the on-deck man, Spencer Nivens, are the only two Naturals yet to reach in this one. In a game where they promptly have 7 hits, 3 have come in this inning. The 1-0 was waved at and missed by Cross. And a sinker in the outer part of the strike zone. Cross skied into shallow center field. Ross is in on it and makes the catch just above his head for out number 2. So with 2 down and Jordan Groshin's over at first, Spencer Nivens comes up to the plate. The lefty now playing with a 1-run lead. Swings at the first pitch to him, gets nothing but air on the cutter. Now an 0-1 count with 2 outs. An inning where Jac Caglianone found his 2nd home run of the game, 4th in 3 games, 8th of the season. The 0-1. Groshin's hopped out of the way of it, but it's a called strike. That was a very nice sinker that snuck into the strike zone. No more strikes to give. Amidst a 3-run frame for the Nats. Klein fires. Called strike 3. Backwards K is how the 7th inning comes to a close, but boy oh boy was the damage already done. With Javier Vaz on second and Carter Jensen on first, Jac Caglianone in his young career has his first professional game with 2 home runs. His homers have helped the Naturals to a 5-4 lead. When we're back in the top of the 8th, the voice of the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, Sean Murnan, will be there to welcome you back.
Chaz Martinez is coming out of the bullpen, and the first pitch of the inning to Kyler Fedko gets in for a strike. Martinez is certainly one of the most consistent arms that has been in the bullpen for the Naturals this year. The 0-1. Fires a strike again, this time inside corner. Sinker at 92 gets him ahead 0-2. Speaking of getting ahead, Jac Caglianone's 2nd home run of the afternoon. I think it's afternoon now. Yeah, it is. 2nd home run of the day. How about that? 3-run shot makes it a 5-4 game. Naturals have 7 hits in this one. 2 of them Caglianone homers. Here's the 0-2. Popped up right side, and that reaches the seats. So Caglianone came in with 6. Now he's got 8. That seems good. Martinez kicks and fires 0-2 pitch. Misses outside for a ball. Oh, you take a look at that home run leaderboard. He's now in 2nd place. Well, he wasn't tied for 2nd. Now he's in 2nd all alone. He's 1 behind Jose Ramos of Tulsa. A 1-2. Fastball misses up. We will get you the final line in just a moment here. The pitch. Martinez misses high and tight. We'll get you the final line on Caden Monk, who's up and out of this game. Monk went 1 2/3. Didn't give up a run or a hit. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for the lefty. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Martinez comes back and gets him on strikes. It's the 7th one now for the Naturals pitching staff. Martinez gets his first with his first out of the day. And it brings up Noah Cardenas. So Martinez comes in with a lead for the Naturals, just a run. The pitch misses inside, yanked a fastball there. Christian Chamberlain came in, he gave the Naturals an out. 3rd of an inning. A run on a hit with 2 walks. The pitch misses high. Did not record a strikeout in his outing here today. And again, he's building back. He was out for well over a year after getting surgery. Martinez set at the belt. Here's the 2-0 to Cardenas. Looping breaking ball gets in for a strike.
I think that's what they call a backdoor slider.
A little bit. Here's the 2-1. Fastball sent in the air, back behind second base, shallow center field. Vaz is there. He makes the call and the catch. Nearly stumbled over. But there's 2 away for Aaron Sabato to face the lefty Chas Martinez.
It's a really good angle there. Kept his feet angled to the bag the whole time in the event it did fall, but he still got under it, and when it's all said and done, and out's an out. Even if there's a little stumble there, he'll take it. There's 2 away. The Naturals are playing with fire here. It took them a while to find that first lead, but they've still got it.
Martinez, deep breath. First pitch to Sabato. It's the outside corner for a called strike. Yeah, I don't know. Would you be playing with fire if you have a lead, though?
A 1-run lead, anything could happen, I'd say so.
I don't think a 1-run lead is dangerous. Here's the 0-1. Hot shot, third base side. That's a fair ball all the way out into the corner. Sabato around first, headed for second, and he's cruising in with a stand-up double. It's a 2-out base knock and another extra base hit for the win surge.
It's their 6th double of the game. I don't have it on hand. I don't know if that's their most of the season, but you'd have to imagine it is. That's just unheard of.
I don't know if it's unheard of, but it's very good, that's for sure. And I guess there is an easy way to check. Let's go back here, and most doubles in a game, 4. They did that twice. Last time was against Springfield back on the 23rd. So that is certainly a new single game high for them, and it also ties, I believe all of these are doubles, their extra base hits. Here's the pitch, that's lined into right. Squires moving over, he makes the catch, but I believe this also ties their season high for extra base hits in a game. With a 5-4 lead, Brett Squires steps up to the plate, home half of the 8th inning. It's Squires, Dickerson, and Jack Pineda. Klein back on the hill, and the right-hander fires the first pitch of the inning. It misses outside. So it's the first game of the day in the Texas League. Obviously, it's the first game of this series between the Naturals and Wind Surge. We've got another one tomorrow night at 7:05. Here's the 1-0. Squires fouls it straight back. Wouldn't you know, Brendan Johnson warming up in the bullpen for the Naturals. Here comes the 1-1. Squires sends it foul again. Spoiled the pitch there.
It's turned into a pretty nasty 1-2 punch. When Martinez is setting up Johnson, that's a really tough duo to face.
Yeah, it's worked out very well so far this season. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Well, that sends Squires packing on a strikeout swinging. And looks like Wichita's also got someone warming up. It's Cody Lawyerson in the left field bullpen. Another right-handed arm. The pitch. Line to short. Nice leaping grab. Tanner Schobel nearly leaving his shoes to get up in a hurry, and there's 2 away on the L6.
Wow. That's a great play. You need some serious athleticism to get that far off the ground. Now I'd love to know what his vertical jump is, because that was an athletic play to save a hit.
Well, I think that was his vertical jump right there. So if you just freeze that moment in time and go out and measure it, you probably have your answer. I mean, that was a great play over there at short.
It really was.
That brings up Jack Pineda, left-handed hitter, out of the 9-hole. 2 outs in the inning. Naturals up 5-4. First pitch to Pineda from Klein. This is inside. Well, I did want to bring something up here that today's amazing date in baseball history, brought to you by the Scott Family Amazium. We got a really good one that happened 27 years ago today. Here's the 1-0. Line drive to center. That is over Schobel and into center field. Pineda gets his first knock of the day. It's a single in the bottom of the 8th. The order rolls over. Here comes Javier Vaz, who's 1 for 4. But on this day, what year were you born, AJ?
2004.
Okay, so this was before you were born, obviously. But do you know what happened on this day 27 years ago?
It's pretty amazing. I'm going to guess it's a perfect game.
It's not, but it's pretty darn close. It may be it's easily one of the greatest games pitched in Major League history. Here's the pitch to Vaz. He takes it high. On this day, 27 years ago, Kerry Wood struck out 20 hitters against the Houston Astros, gave up 1 hit, didn't walk anybody, hit 1 batter.
I'm so mad I didn't know that.
That was an unbelievable. I remember that game. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. And at that point in time, you had Kerry Wood, Mark Pryor, Matt Clement in Chicago. And that rotation, I think everybody thought was going to be one of the greats of all time. Of course, Wood ended up with some health struggles down the road. Here's the 2-0. Vaz lines it over the second baseman and into right field. Pineda moves into second. The inning continues for Carter Jensen. Now first and second with 2 away.
I can do you one better than remembering that game. My dad was at that game.
Well, that doesn't matter for you.
Yeah,
that's really cool for your dad.
Hey, he's told the story a lot.
At any rate, though, celebrate 10 years of hands-on discovery at the Scott Family Amazeum, where play meets learning, and every visit is a home run of imagination, exploration, and fun. Plan your visit at amazeum.org. Well, the skippers come out of the dugout. Dinkelman pats John Klein on the shoulder. Looks as though that's it for his day. 3 hitters into the 9th inning, and Klein is yanked, and so they'll go to the bullpen. We believe this is Cody Lawyerson, but we'll take a break and come back. Northwest Arkansas up by a run, threatening for more here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cody Lawyerson's come in out of the bullpen to face Carter Jensen. The first pitch to Jensen gets a swing and a miss. It's a fastball up for strike number 1. Well, the line not final on Klein yet, but he went 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 6 hits. Right now it's at 3 runs. There's 2 outs and runners at first and second. 0-1. Jensen chops it toward the shortstop, and Schobel picks it up, takes it to the bag himself to get Vaz on the 6 unassisted, and that puts an end to the inning. So the Naturals strand 2 hits, but we go to the 9th. NWA up 5-4 as we go into the final frame, and Brendan Johnson coming in out of the bullpen. Brendan Johnson has come into this ball game, and Johnson has been nails for Northwest Arkansas so far this season. A 5-4 lead for NWA. Sean Mernon along with you here. Top of the 9th inning, and Johnson, who's got 5 saves to his credit. 1.32 earned run average, set to face the top of the lineup. Tanner Schobel waits. Here's the pitch. First one gets in for a called strike. And, well, Johnson has been on quite the stretch. Here comes the 0-1. And that breaking ball misses outside. Right now, Johnson is sitting on a 7-game stretch where he hasn't allowed an earned run or a hit. That's dating back to April the 15th. Here's the 1-1. Schobel lays off, and that gets in for a strike. Johnson leans over. Now he straightens up. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. BJ's got strikeout number 1 in the 9th inning. 5-4 game. Naturals trying to close out a series opening win. If they can maintain this lead, Northwest Arkansas would be 6-0 in games that start a series so far this season. They're 4-1 in those series. The pitch. Andrew Cassetti swings and misses for strike 1. Johnson back to the top of the hill. He stands on the third base side of the rubber with his right foot attached. Cassetti wags the bat over his right shoulder and waits. The 0-1. This is inside. Right-hand hitter back in. 1 out. A 1-1 count. The pitch. Fouled away. It's up and out of play. Now it's a 1-2 count. So Johnson back to the top of the hill. He's set. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Cassetti tried to check it, but couldn't hold up. 2 away on back-to-back strikeouts. That's now 9 for the pitching staff for Northwest Arkansas in this game. And they're 1 out away from picking up a series opening win for the 6th straight time. And, at least for the time being, extending their lead in the North Division. The first pitch to Kalai Rosario's on the outside corner for a called strike. Fans, don't forget, if you'd like to stay in touch with the team, at NWA Naturals on X, NWA Naturals on Instagram, 0-1. That gets in for a called strike on the inner half. And then, of course, you can find us, Northwest Arkansas Naturals, on Facebook. Additionally, if you'd like to be involved with the broadcast, as a few of you have today, here comes the 0-2. Popped up right side of the infield. Caglianone waiting on it. He calls for it. Moves toward the bag and makes the one-handed catch. Put this one in the left-hand column. Brendan Johnson comes in and gets the 3 outs needed to close out a series opening victory for Northwest Arkansas against the Wichita Wind Surge. Another come from behind win. 5-4 the final in this one. We'll take a break and come back. We've still got the Cleve Sports Card post-game show to get through, where we'll walk this one down and tell you about tomorrow night's game, a 7:05 contest in the second game of the series between the Naturals and the Wind Surge. Back after the break at Arvis Ballpark from the Cards radio booth.